If I had found this 1 year earlier, maybe I could have stopped it. But I found it 3 days after the funeral. Inside a box I was never supposed to open. And after I read the last page, I sat on the floor and didn't move for 2 hours. Because my mother had known, and so had my sister. And I was the only one who didn't. The house smelled like old perfume and dust. 3 days after Mom's funeral, I sat on her bedroom floor beside a cardboard box full of receipts, hospital papers, and birthday cards. At the bottom was a tiny blue journal. The last page was folded. I opened it. I should have protected Leah sooner. I knew Maya was putting something in her drinks. My hands started shaking immediately. If I had known this 10 years earlier, maybe I would not have spent my entire teenage life believing I was weak, believing I was broken. Before I tell you what was written inside, I need you to understand something. I had never once suspected my own sister. Maya and I were twins. Same birthday, same school, same house, but we never felt the same. Maya was athletic, confident, and healthy. Teachers loved her. Friends followed her everywhere. I was always exhausted. Headaches, dizziness, fevers that appeared for no reason. When I was 12, I got hospitalized 3 times in 4 months at St. Anne Children's Hospital in Chicago. Doctors called it a fragile immune system. Mom called it fate. Dad drove me to appointments constantly while Maya stayed home laughing with friends. The entire family slowly revolved around my sickness, especially after I fainted during choir practice in 7th grade. But nobody ever asked why I was the only one getting sick while Maya stayed perfectly healthy. After Mom died, I spent nights cleaning her room alone. One night at 11:40 p.m., I opened the journal again. I flipped to the middle and read, "Today, I saw Maya put something into Leah's milk. When I asked, she said it was vitamins. But I don't remember buying those vitamins." I closed the journal instantly. Then I saw the date. October 14th, 2012. The same week I was hospitalized for the second time at age 12. Vitamins. That's what she called it. Vitamins. But the feeling in my chest did not feel like vitamins. It felt like fear. That is not a coincidence. That is a confession. I turned the next page. There were dozens of entries. Small observations written over years. Saw Maya carrying powder into Leah's room again. Leah became sick after breakfast. I asked Maya directly. She cried and denied everything. Then I found the page that made my stomach drop. I brought the milk sample to Mercy General Hospital in March 2015. The doctor said there were traces of something unusual. I chose silence because I was afraid of destroying this family. Suddenly, everything replayed differently inside my head. The soup Maya made before my fever. The tea she gave me before I fainted during chemistry class. Every major episode happened after Maya brought me something. I stared at myself in the bathroom mirror. I need to talk to someone. But the only person I had always called when life fell apart was Maya. She answered on the 3rd ring. "Hey," she said calmly. "I found Mom's journal." Silence. Long, horrible silence. Then I whispered, "Please tell me this isn't true." "You already know." "Leah." No denial. Nothing. Her voice sounded terrifyingly calm. "Why?" I asked. "Because I was scared." "Scared of what?" "That if you got better, Mom and Dad wouldn't need me anymore." I couldn't cry. I just stared at the kitchen wall while my sister admitted she had poisoned my life out of fear. If this story is breaking your heart the way it broke mine, please tap the like button. It helps this channel reach people who need to hear stories like this. Because what she said next somehow made everything worse. How long? I asked. Since we were 10. 10 years. What was it? I whispered. She refused to answer. The next morning, I drove back to our old house on Hawthorne Avenue. Inside Maya's drawer was a small metal tin filled with dried herbs in plastic bags. One label matched a name from Mom's research papers. High doses could cause dizziness, nausea, blurred vision, and fatigue. I sat on the floor, staring at the box. This was not poison from some movie. These were ingredients from my mother's kitchen. I confronted Maya that night. She looked exactly like me, and I had never been more afraid of my own face. She cried before I even spoke. I thought they loved you more. She kept saying, I thought if you needed help, they would never leave me. You took 10 years of my body from me, I said quietly. I don't know how many years it takes to give that back. I met Maya at a cafe 3 days later. I sat across from her and asked, How many times? Maya? She looked down at her coffee. I don't remember exactly. Try. A long silence. Maybe 300 times. Maybe more. I didn't cry. I just nodded. And I picked up my bag and left. I picked up my phone and called the hospital. Mercy General? How can I help you? I need every medical record I have. Every visit. Every test. Going back to 2005? A pause. That's 20 years of records. Ma'am, I know exactly how many years it is. I'll connect you with a doctor right away. It has been 8 months since I found Mom's journal. I still talk to Maya sometimes. Not often. Some days I almost forgive her. Other days I remember hospital ceilings, IV needles, and birthdays spent sick in bed. Maybe I will forgive her one day. Maybe never. But for the first time in 10 years, I am not sick anymore. And now I finally understand why. So I want to ask you, if your own twin sister did this to you for 10 years, would you forgive her? Comment yes or no below. I'll read every single one. Subscribe for more stories like this. A new one comes every 2 days. I still wonder,